This is no happy home, but God knows how I try.
Hello, this is Rare Elvis Photos. Welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into some more user comments. Before we do, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the all notifications bell there next to it. On Have You Ever Heard Elvis Say This in an Interview, Evie Hammond says, talking down on someone and speaking the truth respectfully are two very different things. At least in my opinion they are. Priscilla has done whatever she can to control the after-death narrative of Elvis for too long. She never had the right in the first place, especially coming from someone who chose to leave their marriage after only a few years and then decided to be a self-proclaimed expert on all things Elvis, conveniently from August 16th, 77, and continues to this day to present herself as one. For a woman who wanted a separate life and identity of her own, sure goes well out of her way to make sure we are reminded of her short connection to Elvis, doesn't she? When Lisa Marie was going through her most recent divorce, Priscilla actually sided with Lisa Marie's soon-to-be ex. She even had custody of her two daughters and told the public that they would never go into foster care, the granddaughters. Again, more concerned about how the family is represented than anything else. By the way, someone should have asked her how's Lisa Marie doing during all of this. Prior to the Elvis movie premiere, Priscilla and Lisa Marie were practically estranged. They only began talking after Benjamin's suicide. I'm sure it was very important to Priscilla to ensure the public sees her and Lisa Marie portraying a close mother-daughter relationship for the movie promotion and premiere, but it couldn't be further from the truth. Priscilla always wants to control the narrative because what else does she have to remain relevant? Her connection to Elvis, short as it was having his only child, and that's all she has desperately clung to in a pursuit to live the celebrity lifestyle that she's accustomed to. Kind of ironic for someone who loved Elvis seeking her own identity how many decades ago? That's a great point. 50 years almost. In fact, 50 years. Gosh, it's been 50 years. Or longer. 23, 27. Yeah, about 50 years. So Elvis World Speaks Out versus Priscilla. Like Godzilla, right? Let's see here. Evie Hammond also says, Priscilla left Elvis, but she has held tight to that Presley name and affiliation pretty tightly now for decades. It is annoying that she acts more like Elvis's widow instead of an ex-wife. Loved Lisa Marie, but I think her son's suicide just broke her heart. I agree with you. I think it crushed her for sure. Why would any mother, Priscilla, worry more about her child's estate and where she stands within it instead of mourning her child's premature and sudden death and helping her grandchildren mourn their mother's loss? I don't believe Priscilla should be allowed to be buried at Graceland. She left Elvis and used his connection as a tool to exploit and benefit from the time she met him and continues to do so to this day. I think Priscilla was deeply jealous of Lisa Marie. She wants to believe that she was Elvis's one and only true love, but I believe that was his mom and his daughter, not her. Well, that's a great comment. Thanks for coming on here and letting us know what you think. Did Priscilla try to steal Graceland away from Elvis before his death? Linda Carter, 8823, says some of this is BS. So a lot of people don't really understand that she put that lien, had her attorneys put the lien on Graceland. So if Elvis didn't pay, because she knew he was dying, she'd be able to take over Graceland. Thankfully, he kept up with it. Thankfully, she was paid, obviously, or made an agreement. And maybe since he passed away, it was going to go to Lisa, and there's nothing she could have done because Lisa didn't owe her daddy's debt to Priscilla. Have you ever heard Elvis say this in an interview? At SoMe 989, Parker didn't have Elvis do A Star Is Born because it was about a washed-up rock star and he would not get first billing. Barbara's notorious for being over-demanding, perfectionist, and her boyfriend was a producer. That was probably part of it. That being said, a lot of people said that he was excited about doing it, including Jerry Schilling. And who would have known more than Jerry? Priscilla was forced to write Priscilla and Me, ? Anna Marie says, I know I translated this. Oh, yeah, she should add her name Priscilla, the name of the man with whom her son's father lives, and leave Elvis alone. She's saying she should go back to Boyo or something like that. So I appreciate you being on here. Also on the Have You Ever Heard Elvis Say This in an Interview? Somi says, who was that girlfriend that Elvis had that went with somebody else? Anita was still with Elvis when he left the Army. Could he be speaking about Elizabeth, his secretary? Is Elvis speaking about June, who did dump him at a train station, and he spoke of that? Elvis said he thought he was in love, but he got dumped at a train station and said that she was a dingbat for leaving him, and he was hurt but soon got over it. Elvis usually had three girlfriends at any given time, including when married. I think June meant more to this man than people realize because her personality and his are very similar. June still has a heart for Elvis after all these years and gets emotional, just tears speaking about him. Now, of course, I don't remember him saying dingbat. Maybe he did. But I do remember him saying that he was left at a train station and dumped, and he thought he was in love once. Um, and maybe it's one of those things where, gosh, you get treated a certain way, you get denied in a relationship. It's very difficult. And back at that time, Elvis was famous for sure. Not world famous yet, but he was very famous. And it had to have been hard for June, that for Elvis to race up to that radio station in Biloxi and kind of deny that they were even seeing each other and that anything was serious. It's got to break somebody's heart. And she was kind of the first one that had to deal with that. I would say one of the first ones, but um, Priscilla and Tom Jones caught sneaking around on this video. My Radalad 7397, probably saying it wrong, says perfect with 4 hearts. Thanks for being on here, and thanks for that comment. Then I did a little Olympic chocolate muffins recipe, so you guys would have that. It was one of those things that was I saw on Google, and I thought maybe y'all might want to know. And I got a wow from AP087. It's a long recipe. It's a lot of stuff in these muffins, and it's not for somebody that might be on a diet or watching what they're eating, because it looks like those calories are going to be super high for those muffins. But it's got to be delicious. And that's kind of why I put it on there, for those that might want to make them for their grandchildren, for their kids, or a little snack for themselves, a little snicky snack, like my wife says. Priscilla pressed the interview defending Elvis and Lisa or tearing them up. At Yumiko, 22 Nana 90 says, Priscilla, she knows how to break men just for money, and yes, that's her reality. Yeah, I know, and that's kind of been what she's done. She broke Mike Stone. She broke Mike Stone's wife. She broke Mike Stone's children. Then she broke Michael Edwards, although Michael Edwards doesn't really need any defense. From everything I've read about the guy, he was a user and potentially an abuser of Lisa. So, and then, of course, she was with her husband of all those years, although she claims that they weren't married. Marco Garibaldi or Garcia, Navarrone's dad, broke him. Anyhow, Yumiko 22 Nana 90 also says, I hope that Priscilla knows, and Margaret, of course, but that her wife, Elvis, liked her. They spent their time only laughing, in fact, just to escape you. So that's a bad translation through Google, but basically she's saying, Yumiko is saying, I hope Priscilla knows that Anne Margaret and Elvis spent their time laughing. I think they spent a lot of time together, and I think that they probably didn't talk about Priscilla much, which I wouldn't imagine. Yumiko also says at 15, she was manipulative, calculating, and she was perfection as she graduated from Ruthless Dallas. So maybe from the show, I guess. Yep, Yumiko. Hey, another comment by Yumiko. That's 4 in a row. By the way, Priscilla married just the name of Elvis, but he did not pass the exam with honors. Well, very active on here, Yumiko. I appreciate that. And basically, you're just saying Priscilla married the name of Elvis, so she, could take advantage of it. So I agree with you. Have you ever heard Elvis say this in an interview video? Chris Kincaid says, if he only had been allowed to do movies he wanted. He was a great actor. It showed in King Creole and Charo. Elvis felt that he had to do what he was given because he had so many rely on him for money. All Elvis really wanted to do was have a serious movie and to sing. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. It's a great comment. And you're right. The thing is, the money train could not stop. Not only did he have all the staff, all of his friends, all of his family, but he had the business end of it as well, people that relied on him. At D says, make them keto. Make them muffins keto. Well, you could do that. I don't think it would taste quite as delicious, you know what I'm saying? But much more healthier, right? On the little short video that I put out there, do you love Priscilla or not? Vote in the comments. And since she was stupid to leave him. Saeed Hassan said that. Yeah, I don't think that she was truly ever in love with Elvis. She was in love with the image. She was in love with the idea of fame, of being with a famous person, of being treated specially, um, you know, being a passenger princess, I guess, that kind of a thing. Not to insult that term with Priscilla, but I ain't saying she's a gold digger. That might be a little bit more in line with how I feel about Priscilla. Um, has Priscilla destroyed her chance to be buried at Graceland? This is gonna be the last comment of the day, and then I will have another one tomorrow. So hopefully your comment will be featured. Keep commenting, and I'll try to get to you. At Donna Selfton, looks like. Let me see here. My eyes are a little. Donna's. Wait, I always hack this. I should just say one word. At Donna, 2969. I'm pretty sure that the burial thing is entirely up to Riley, and Riley's been giving Granny everything she asked for. I'm not too sure Riley will stand up. Um, so, what I read back in the day was that if the city deemed that she could, because as we know now, they are at a maximum for burials allowed there, then Riley would not stand in the way. But you know what? I mean, to get the lawsuit over, I think it was very important. Riley just wanted to get it settled, get it done, and then deal with those problems later on. You've seen all the comments here, and certainly, the majority of the comments that I've seen, I would say 95% to 100, almost 100%, has said they don't want her buried there. They don't want to have to see her name when they go in the meditation garden and disturb the remembrance of Elvis. It's one thing Lisa's there because that's her daughter. I mean, that's his daughter, and that he loved her very much. It's one thing Vernon's there. Elvis loves his daddy very much. One thing that Gladys is there, loved his mom very much. There's Ben's there. Elvis would have loved him very much, and then of course Minnie, and of course the little stone for his little brother. Anyways, I'm gonna end it right here. Have you heard of the YouTube female Elvis? Now, Trave Satam 6890 says this is cool by me, being a big Elvis fan, girl. Get it, girl. Way to go, Denny. That's a nice comment there. And once again, Denny doesn't seek being called the female Elvis. She loves to lip sync Elvis. She loves Elvis. She goes to Graceland. She goes to Tupelo. You should find her page at Denny Baker Official. I'll go ahead and throw that up there so you can see it again. But until next time, this is Rare Elvis Photos. Take care of yourselves. Appreciate every one of you. Hit the like button. Share this video around. Subscribe. Keep watching videos every day. Keep supporting other Elvis creators, that is defending the legacy of Elvis Presley.